EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Ryan Tannehill and the visiting Miami Dolphins. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from Cleveland. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Over!
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they'll bring him down. Give him a couple on the carry there.
There's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Mayfield off the play fake. Flushed out right. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Mayfield from the gun on third down. This is Johnson. He's got it. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Wake in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. Landry, the intended target. Certainly not how. Envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Tannehill. First look is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that. First down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Where it
Tannehill. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Myles Garrett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long. Tannehill now to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I know every coach talks about respecting the ball, taking care of the ball. But when it's 3rd and long like that, you're triggered, man. He doesn't make a play. Downfield to make that play, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, he tried to make the play. A little risky, but it fell incomplete. Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And the Browns getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. It's just going to be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Now, check. Patriot! Patriot! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Hut!
2nd down, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end Njoku. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger...
Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Tannehill dancing to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Hustle, we're walking. We're all walking.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. They're able to locate Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the first. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Flush to his right. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. First foray into the red zone for Miami. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Drake off the give from Tannehill. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Dolphins add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Cameron Wake in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway, 66 yards. And the Browns are back within a score. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. Here's Tannehill. He goes underneath the Drake. And some room to work. 20. And all the way in. Drake. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield.
With the stroke.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Sliding out of the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Second and 10, Tannehill once more. Now he's going the other way. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Play action. It's Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. On 1st and goal, Drake. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And he puts it through. Sanders now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? That's going to be caught. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A good pickup there, a 22. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. The carry here for the big tight end. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. In for the score. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go.
Here's Tannehill. Steps away to his left. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 50, it's Tannehill. Going to look deep for Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 2nd down, Mayfield again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. Sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Watch it now, Barney. Gun. Hot. No. Check. Patriot.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's got a man. Complete. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Here's Johnson. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Mayfield down. And he took that thing one-handed. What a grab. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He dumps it off to Drake. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got... And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. First half lead, now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might.
Guys playing strong safety, which is really a hybrid position. You got to be able to cover back deep, but also you're almost like a linebacker up near the line of scrimmage. They count on him to make big hits in the game.
Wide open receiver complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 26. That time. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And they take possession of the football. 6 now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Tannehill going deep here for Stills. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Tannehill. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Browns defense stands tall. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Eluding the pressure right, and incomplete.
Right side to that